2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 1, 5, 9, 2, 1, 5, 1, 5, 9, 2.
I think I and the whole team and the board are really proud of the fact that we have taken on this challenge to host these fantastic 17 partners in Galway. It's really fun as well to be able to welcome colleagues and friends from all over Europe who have hosted us in their countries. Age 0 to 6 is a really important time in the development of a child, and it's the time when the synapses are firing. There's a lot of developmental work going on at that point, and going to things like the theatre or just even sitting and reading with your child or painting or playing, it gives them an opportunity to really explore, I suppose, their own self-expression. And people are surprised to think that at that stage that people are forming their worldview, but they really are. It's a really, really important time in the life of a child, and it's also a lovely time for parents to take a bit of time out of their busy lives to enjoy those kind of activities with their children, because when you walk into a theatre or you walk into a gallery or you sit and listen to some music, you're forced to put away the phone, to put away the distractions and just to be in the moment. And that's really, really special time for a parent, but also for a child to have that attention. And it's a really lovely thing to experience together. And I think it can really form lifelong habits. Children become used to feeling that a theatre is their kind of space, at an art centre. Yeah, I can walk in here, I can bring my friends, this is my space as well.
Oh, I think it's just been an excellent opportunity for Irish artists to get a chance to see such a selection of international work, as well as obviously the children here in Galway, the families and the creches, I believe, on Thursday and Friday that were here, to have a chance to experience such a range of different kinds of work. I think Galway is a perfect festival town, actually, so it's just it's a great place for people to go and see lots of different shows over a short period of time. The setup of the rowing club has been brilliant, actually, just for people to mingle and chat to each other. They know that there's a comfortable place to go and just share ideas and experiences and kind of unpack the different shows that they've seen. We're really delighted when organisations in Ireland participate with other international companies to really make the most of Creative Europe funding and to really develop international projects. It really helps the development of the art form here and obviously in other countries as well. So what's really exciting about this project is a mixture of the Creative Europe funding that facilitated the work over the last few years, but then the Arts Council supported this particular festival through our open call programme. So that's where you really allow something that sometimes there's a lot of really good research and background work happening and great connections happening between artists, but to give it a big final couple of days and a sort of a public face to it as well is really important to kind of acknowledge the amount of work that's been put in over the last couple of years.
I'm in love with the city, and it's a very good city for festivals because it's so compact and so beautiful, and you can walk from one venue to the other, and people are very friendly, so that was what brought me here. ASITES International is the International Association for Theatre for Children and Young People. We are present in almost 100 countries around the world. We share a lot of work with the Small Size and the Wide Eyes project, with this to enrich children with arts, with performing arts. It can contribute a lot to the life of small children and to them becoming persons with a moral fundament, persons with imagination, with creativity, with images about what are there out in the world, what can they be, and reflect them as small human beings. and also give them a voice in the society around them. And as this Wild Eyes project takes small children so seriously, they also listen a lot to them. So the small children become visible as not just children that have to grow up and become adults, but human beings that can contribute a lot to our society and whom we have to take serious. One of the interesting elements, and what it's also a part of the why performing arts for children, is the capacity to have empathy. And when you see another person in front of you on stage, representing a different point of view than your own, representing a different person, you can create an understanding of that person and why it does like it acts as it does. So you can say that it's a training in empathy, and the live element is decisive in this because the person is there. It's a real person in front of you, and you can feel it, you can hear them, you can smell them, you can touch them. That's the difference of performing arts and other arts, because literature can do the same, but it becomes stronger when they are there in front of you.
It's still a developing area in Ireland, and there's been a longer tradition, I suppose, of it in Europe, of children going to see work at a very young age and going to the theatre, going to see shows. And being involved in this project has allowed us to develop that area through inviting European work and other work from all over the world to Galway. And now we're seeing artists making work for babies and for toddlers in Ireland. So I suppose we're seeing the benefit of being involved in this kind of project.
It's an absolute amazing opportunity for artists and companies and presenters who are working in the area of early years. So early years theatre in Ireland would be a relatively new sector, but there are companies here such as Baracca who've been running for over 20 years in Italy looking at the same sector. So we have so much to learn from the work that they have done, from the experience they have of working with this age group. And it's so brilliant that Irish practitioners, Irish presenters, Irish makers can just hop down to Galway for a couple of days. The dinners have been stupendous, the chats have been great, and the welcome has just been really lovely. And we even had sunshine in February. It's been great for me to meet my international colleagues here. There's somebody here from Asatej in Lithuania, in Italy, in Denmark, in UK and Ireland. And over dinner last night we had a mini informal meeting. So it's been fantastic for me to see the work, to meet colleagues, but also have conversations and move on issues that we're working on in the organisation, and also to meet some of the funders and stakeholders and talk to them about the importance of TYA, Theatre for Young Audiences, in Ireland.
There's no difference between adults and children, because not of the adults, it's because the adults were children one day. So if you get the spirit, if you go with the children we all were, as a performer also, you get the adults too. And I think any play, any act should be like this. The simpler we are, and the more we open our hearts, I think you can remind anyone, children and adults, that we are human beings, and that we're full of stories and full of imagination, and that is something we have in common. Once you go into this imaginary world that what we have all in common, we're children imagining stories and discovering the world, you get the public. Once you try to tell them what you know, or what they are supposed to know, or what they're supposed to think, or try to be clever than them, well, then they will prefer Netflix on their smartphones. If you're not lucky, even during the show.
It is an exceptional event, having 15 professional shows as an outcome from small-size European project. And I was really interested to come because it's not common that you have this focusing on early years, 0 to 6 years old. Usually when we I mean, as artistic directors of festivals, when we go to festivals, we can find 1 or 2 pieces for this age, but here we have 15 from around Europe. And yeah, this is why I came to see shows and also good network with people and get some updates about what's happening in this early years field. Actually, the best thing will be to find high quality shows. This is the main hope, and I am getting there, I think. I mean, I saw very good shows today and yesterday. In parallel, it's always interesting to think about making my family bigger, family of colleagues, delegates, director of festivals, artists, companies, then to broaden my network and to get inspired from people and see potential of cooperation, things like this. Yeah.
It was pretty extraordinary to see a festival that is not, Wide Eyes isn't a festival that happens every year, to have so many delegates at it. And I was really, really excited about the kind of diversity of what we were going to see, but also all the other delegates who were here. So that was the kind of first thing to really look forward to. And then really to have that opportunity to see what's been going on in a variety of different European countries, sort of the same project, but, multiple projects. Is really interesting. One questions and wonders whether, to what extent they've been having the same conversations with one another. There are some sort of themes that you can kind of draw from the work that you've seen. I am sort of dedicated to kind of really push the art form as much as I can in terms of the kind of material and the kind of content I put in front of my audiences. That doesn't mean I do that every week, obviously, because I've got to keep the building kind of ticking over and I've got to keep the people happy. But every now and again I'll drop something in there that might surprise them, might shock them, might upset them, might make them send me lots of letters of complaint. But I do really believe that's my job. And I think it has been a very interesting set of conversations around children's agency and their autonomy and their choices that they are or aren't allowed to make as children in the moment, and maybe that we've got some work to do, I think, in kind of reimagining what we think early years theatre is.
We are from Budapest, from the Calibri Theater, and we just celebrated our 25th anniversary because we developed 25 years ago, exactly.
The same group.
We brought What's the News, that's the title of it, and we have worked on it for nearly 3 years as a Wide Eyes project.
I had to come to the Wide Eyes Festival because in Australia, where I live, there are simply no events that are dedicated to the very early years. It's as simple as that. We have beautiful work, I have colleagues, and some gorgeous work is being made, but we just don't have that critical mass of activity which warrants a dedicated event. I saw Blisko from Poland this afternoon, and what a pleasure to be in a room full of babies utterly engaged in an exquisite piece. I'm struck by one of the distinctions that I've noticed between my work and work here is that my work is either for children aged 4 to 18 months, and I've made a work just for 2-year-olds, so highly sort of zoned in age ranges, and I've noticed the age range is quite a lot broader here, but I'm noticing that works. My main aim for coming here was to look at work, to I guess benchmark my own practice alongside the works here. I think it's important just to peep out into the world and to kind of go, does my work stand up? Is it contemporary? Is it relevant? Is it part of the conversation, which is a global conversation? It's I think we're all motivated by the groundswell of interest in the very early years that somehow is a global phenomenon, whether that's coming from an educational perspective or a social perspective, and obviously from an aesthetic perspective, without really at this point having thought through the logistics of it or what small size itself would require. I reckon I'll just keep talking and keep in touch and see where we go. One of the fascinating things about Small Size was the brief that the companies had to take themselves out of their comfort zones. So even the question, even to think that we have reached a comfort zone in early years theatre practice is a wonderful thing. Because it's time now to challenge our assumptions, to make explicit what we've already normalised, and to maybe sort of re-problematise that so that we're staying fresh and reflective.
Our company is in Small Size since more than 10 years, and we are very interested with the job and the works for the young audiences. We are organizer and we are producer in Limoges, and we work with a company who working with young audiences, and this company was in Limoges, so we work with them, and yeah, we believe on the job. We hope to have a new project start at the end of the year. For 4 more years, and we have also 2 festivals on this project, and the next one is next year on May.
Company gave a different interpretation of the mentoring project. So the basic idea was to grasp from others' experience in order to find new ways to make art.
It kind of is a warm-up for Galway 2020, because I suppose one of the things that's really important in 2020 is the issue of legacy. And what we're doing, or this festival is doing, is starting at zero and creating that in children's minds, the whole issue of culture and creativity and opportunity and joy and fun.
So I think it's really important that that we invite, not only that we go elsewhere and bring our work there and collaborate and exchange, but also that we invite people to come to us and that we learn from that experience, and there's that kind of artistic exchange. It seemed like a really natural fit in terms of the lead up to Galway 2020, and hopefully during Galway 2020 and beyond there'll be all sorts of events like this.
In all my life, I am a very lucky man, and always I work with doing theatre for children. Always, now are 42 years, and I work with all the ages, and I continue to work with all the ages from 0 to 14, more or less. And so it was possible in all this year to experiment and to start to make a lot of shows, new production, different approach to create the festival. And this was a really, really opportunity, because to meet these audiences for an artist is unique. You are so touched from their presence, their eyes, one fantastic wide eyes, really, and also from their fantastic silence. The silence of the children of this age is incredible. It's real silence. You can talk with this volume, because the silence is complete.